Home computers are being called upon to perform many new functions, including the consumption of homework formerly eaten by the dog. Hello, my name is Michael Martin, and I want to share with you my findings of the research I've done on purchasing a new laptop. When I first started researching the feasibility of purchasing a new laptop, some of the things I needed to consider were my budget. I needed to be sure I could afford a new laptop with the components I wanted in it. I found that I would be getting $13.50 back on my income tax. I figured I could get a top-notch computer for $14.50, and to my surprise, I actually found I could get one for less than what I had planned, $1198.39 in fact, and this price actually included shipping. The second thing I needed to consider was the components that I wanted in the laptop. I knew I wanted my new laptop to be built in a specific way. However, I also knew I needed to stay within a certain realm of possible components to keep the laptop within my budget. I was certain I wanted an i7 quad-core processor. I know that this is Intel's pretty much biggest and best processor. Something that I found out that Intel actually has 3 different levels of the i7 processor, and unfortunately I could only afford the base model. The next thing I felt was a must for this laptop was a graphics card with a gigabyte of dedicated memory. I know that NVIDIA and ATI are basically the 2 top manufacturers of video cards, and as long as it had the gigabyte of dedicated memory, I was happy with it. I actually ended up getting a laptop with the ATI graphics card, and it did in fact have the 1 gigabyte of dedicated memory. The next thing I wanted in this laptop was lots of RAM, and the laptop that I built actually ended up having 8 gigabytes of DDR3 memory, and this is actually a lot of memory for any computer, not to mention a laptop. The last component that I felt was important for this laptop was a large hard drive. I ended up getting a 500 gigabyte hard drive, but it's pretty fast. It spins at 7,200 RPM. While this is not the largest hard drive I could have gotten for the laptop, I think it's big enough for my needs. The last thing that I considered was the manufacturer of different laptops. I have several friends that have Toshiba laptops, and I spoke with them and they seem to be very happy with Toshiba's performance. My previous laptop was a Dell, and I know that it was actually made by Toshiba, and Dell just put their name on the computer itself. I pretty much decided I'd start my search for a new laptop with Toshiba, and I went on their website and I tried different configurations and different components to see, what I could get. Finally, I decided to give Toshiba a call, and the person that I spoke with was very helpful, very informative. He walked me through all the steps of building the new laptop, and unfortunately, they could not get the price of the laptop in my budget. So that pretty much said, hey, I'm not going to buy a Toshiba. My friend Lori, who is pretty much my go-to person when it comes to any computer questions, she's a bit of a computer guru. She said that HP usually runs specials on their laptops, and that I should try them out. She was also the person that told me that it really doesn't matter who the manufacturer of the laptop is, as long as you have the basics in a laptop, which are the processor, the video card, the RAM, and a good hard drive. And you know, like I said, she is a actual IT and computer specialist, so I listen to her advice when it comes to these sort of things. I contacted HP, and the lady that I spoke with was very informative, and she took the time to patiently help me design the laptop that I wanted. And I was very pleased with her professionalism. Um, HP actually went above and beyond any expectation I had when it came to building a laptop. And like I said, of course, they built it for under the amount of money that, I had set aside and thought that I would need to actually build a laptop that would meet my needs. Another wonderful thing about HP is the lady that I spoke with. She told me that it could be up to 3 weeks before the laptop was sent to my house. And, I was a little disappointed by that. I was hoping to get it a little sooner. And she said, well, due to having to especially build the computer, that, it could take this amount of time, but it might get here sooner, which, in fact, it did. 2 weeks after I placed the order, the laptop had arrived, and I was very pleased with it. So I would say that anyone looking to buy any computer components, printers, laptops, computers themselves, HP is definitely going to provide the customer service and the quality at a price that I would say anyone could afford. In closing, I think the entire experience has been very informative. I've learned many things about purchasing a new laptop. I've learned that there's a lot of work and thought that goes into the process of building the right computer. But the thing that I have found to be most true can be summed up in these two quotes from unknown authors. Computers must be female. No one but the creator understands their internal logic. The native language they use to communicate with other computers is incomprehensible to everyone else. The message bad command or file name is about as informative as, if you don't know why I'm mad at you, then I'm certainly not going to tell you. Even the smallest mistakes are stored in the long-term memory for later retrieval. As soon as you make a commitment to one, you find yourself spending half your paycheck on accessories for it. The next quote. Computers must be male. As soon as you commit to one, you realize that if you'd waited for a little longer, you could have obtained a better model. In order to get their attention, you have to turn them on. Big power surges knock them out for the rest of the day. My name's Michael Martin, and this has been my presentation on the purchase of a new laptop. Thank you.